Yep.
What episode number
All right,
is this?
podcast 8. Last week we kept saying podcast 6, but it was actually 7.
Oh, really?
7, 8, 9.
7, 8, 9. So, episode 8 in the books. Doing well so far.
Yeah, we're doing all right, yeah.
Bit of a learning curve.
Yeah, there was a bit of a steep learning curve. I wouldn't call myself a podcast, and I don't think I ever would, regardless of how successful or good the quality of a podcast I was on ended up flourishing into. But, I mean, it's all right, I guess. A few things to work on, but...
Every week it seems that there's something that's come up that's kind of... note that one down.
Yeah, throwing a spanner in the works.
But you know I've actually...
Any of them that you can name, particularly, off the top of your head?
What, the mics or the cameras?
Yeah.
Or I think you've done a lot more learning in regards to all the editing you've been doing.
Oh, yeah.
Especially the amount of time that you've been...
Yeah, it's an equal part and shared between the two pretty equally.
Yeah. But you know I've actually been seeing a lot lately, because this is on my top of my head, people like glazing that they don't have a podcast.
Oh.
That's a good thing that they don't have a podcast?
No, it probably is a good thing that... podcasts are great to just share your opinions and your ideologies and stuff and just anything. Probably some people shouldn't have a podcast.
Yeah, I
Maybe
agree.
we shouldn't. But I don't think it's a flex to not have one.
Yeah, like people have been glazing 10 things that I'm proud of.
I can think of the person that you're saying in your head, and he should glaze that he's pretty much a fucking massive squirm. But besides that...
A little squirm, yeah.
He's a bit of a squirm, that lad. I reckon he's a bit of a squirm. Might be a good bloke in person. Well, I don't really care if he's a good bloke in person or not, but it'd be better.
Yeah, I've just seen it a few times the last week or two.
Anybody that's
been a glaze.
Like the same post, he was like, "Oh, I can go out for drinks and dinner and not feel guilty." I hate to break it to you, but you fucking feel guilty if you have to go out of your way to tell people you don't feel guilty about having drinks and dinner.
Legit.
You squirm.
Squirmy boy.
I don't know yet, but whatever. I'll catch up with you if you want to catch up with me, whatever. We'll talk shop.
Yeah, legit.
Another thing that pisses... I know we've got a segment later that's pretty much similar to this, but another thing that pisses me off happens with us a lot. When you speak of a hypothetical situation with someone and you go, "Oh, how much would you do this for?" And they're, "Nothing. I wouldn't do it for anything." Like, when I go, "How much money would you, go up to a wall and like kick your toe hell hard on?" And they go, "Oh, no, nothing, it will hurt." So you don't understand the concept of money then, because...
Yeah. If you got 100 mil cash sitting there, in a wheelbarrow, they'll do it.
People even sometimes I say to people how much... You could say something, I'm trying to think of something stupidly dumb, or how much to pump that baby. Not that you'd ever say that to someone, but someone would go, "Oh, no, nothing, that's fucked." How about $10 billion?
I'm sure they'll be punting that thing out.
Or you'd be like, "Would you wet your bed for any money?" They go, "I wouldn't."
Would you?
Dude, yes. I'd literally wet my bed for $250, man. But the people that, "Oh, no, I wouldn't." "Oh, what, not for $1 million? You're a coward."
Yeah, they're trying to gain respect, eh?
Are they?
Yeah,
what respect do you get out of that?
Are they scared or what? They're trying to prove something that.
Maybe.
How's the body?
Pretty good. I got sick last week. So I missed training Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Went for my first continuous run in ages yesterday, probably 2 months, maybe even longer. Yeah, it was only 6.5 Ks, but...
Feel good?
I moved pretty... I was going probably a 6 or a 7 out of 10, and I was probably doing 440 a K.
Yeah.
But the legs started getting pretty heavy towards the end. I think being sick didn't help. But it just reminded me how nice it is to go for a leisurely run.
Yeah.
I saw your client, Jacob?
Oh, Jacob, yeah, Woolies.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Saw him.
Yeah.
But besides that, the body's, it's fine.
That's good though. It's good to get a run off into the books.
What?
It's good to get a run into the books.
Yeah. How's your body? Good?
Pretty tender.
Oh yeah, you went on your walk, man.
First challenge done. I think we've both done our challenges. So the big 100,000 steps, clocked 50Ks, 55Ks.
Yeah. Not bad. Not a bad shout.
It was a bit of a learning experience. It was pretty hard.
What'd you learn? What's 2 to 3 things that you learned from that experience?
You can't mess around with time.
Yeah.
Like, it just took forever.
Yeah.
Like, it just took me so long, and it was just...
It took a lot longer than I expected it to take.
Yeah, same. Because the first quarter, like, when I got to SJ's at 8 o'clock, and I clocked 25,000, I was like, okay, feeling good. I was like, this is going pretty good. I was like, I should be right by about 6 p.m, 7 p.m. But yeah, I didn't finish till 8:40.
Yeah.
That's
So
a big...
you smashed the first quarter out, hey?
Smashed it, yeah.
Which is usually what those endurance type feats are like. The first quarter, you like, fuck, this is it. Feeling good. Like, you've got the energy, the adrenaline from actually starting it, and then that's the thing with these endurance feats is that you get to that middle / 75% of the way, and that's when it's hard because it's like, fuck, I've still got so much to do. All that novelty shite wore off.
It was just so boring.
Looked real boring.
It was just so boring because the hardest part was that you couldn't track, like, obviously I was tracking steps, but normally with you're either getting to a distance by Ks or like there's an end point.
Yeah.
Where it was a step. So it was like every 20 minutes you'd I'd check my phone and see where the steps was at, and it was like, it would go up a little bit. So there's that unknown thing that was probably the hardest.
Yeah.
Which is really pissing me off. Like, I'd see it, I don't know, a mark in the distance. I'm like, at that point I should be here.
Yeah.
And then you get there and it's different. So that was what was really pissing me off. But just how long it took, and after halfway I definitely hit a wall, a huge wall. And my pace went out the window. I was just mentally fatigued, I was just so over it, but
Yeah.
got it done, so...
So main thing you learned is that you can't really mess with time.
No. Because I wanted to keep rest, because I was so cooked, I just wanted to keep rest. But obviously, the more I rest, the longer it was taking.
Yeah.
And it was averaging like, every 10 minutes I was doing 1,000 steps. Pretty much.
Ooh. Yeah, that's tough.
That's why I was just taking like...
So realistically, you probably were walking for like, let's say 11 hours, like of just continuous walking, and then the rest was like toilets, food, kind of resting.
I think about 13.
How much was it in total? 14 and a half?
16.
Oh. Yeah.
So 13 to 14 of like movement time. But yeah, the time factor, like I'm like... So shout out ChatGPT. It was actually right on the money. Pretty much, when I got to about 2 p.m, which is after halfway, I kept like sending it info like,
Yeah.
I've done this much, this is the time, this is my pace, what time do you think I'll finish by? And it kept saying between 8:20 p.m. and 8:40, and that's what was really like hurting me. I was like, I've only got like 30,000 steps left, how's it gonna take this long? But it was actually right on the money because I finished at 8:37.
Oh, perfect, man.
So like I had like 30,000 to go, and I still had like 4 hours, and that's what was like, this is cooked.
Yeah.
Like, how am I gonna keep walking for 4 hours?
Luckily, ChatGPT is honest. She's a woman that, you know, she's not like other women. She's not an egregious liar. Yeah. She'll tell you honestly how it is.
And it was actually revving me up. Like, oh, not really revving me up, but it was like, you're doing well, keep going.
Yeah, oh, yeah, that's that talk that ChatGPT does to you. Like, yeah, it really helps in those situations. It wouldn't, just with everything.
Yeah, and I was like, when I got to 90,000, I was like, you're doing well.
So where was the point where you went from in the hole badly in Struggle Town, Hurt Locker, to, oh, I'm feeling good, I'm up and about, it's going to happen?
I went through different stages. Like, when I hit around 70K, I listened to music for a bit and I got it like into a good rhythm. But then I would get to like 74 and then I would hit a wall again. Then I would get to 80, get into a rhythm. And I'm like, okay, I'm on here. This is like the last wind I'm on. And then I hit another wall. And then it was starting to get dark. Like, when you left, I think you left around just after 80.
Yeah, just after 80, yeah.
And I hit a wall. And it was just dark. And I was just like, I just wanted to get home. And then at 90, I was like, final 10,000 I'm on. But then I seen the time and I was like, I still got an hour and a half left. So that's what I mean, like you can't mess around with time. It was like, I've only got 10,000 steps, but I still got an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And it was just pissing me off. But got it done.
Oh, it's a good experience. Do you regret it? Are you happy that you experienced it? Like,
No, I enjoyed it.
yeah.
It was hard, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I'm glad I did it. It was done.
Do you reckon that's your like icky guy for the year, or do you reckon you've got something up your sleeve?
It still doesn't feel like it feels like more of like a mental challenge.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather do something, I don't know, like yes, it's still a big physical challenge, but you know what I mean? Like it doesn't sound like, oh yeah, you walked 55Ks.
Yeah, people don't take into consideration the amount of time it took and
like it doesn't sound that big of a, you know, a feat. Like, oh yeah, you walked 55Ks, okay.
Yeah.
What, you want a participation medal or what?
Fuck man, my grandma used to walk 55Ks a day to school over
That's
and
what I mean,
back
right?
home.
Like, it's like, okay, yeah, well done.
No, but it's more than fucking Johnny Leclerc's doing over the cross
I
the road.
know, but like, I don't know, just what sits with me.
Yeah, so now...
So I still want to do something, another physical challenge, I guess, for the year.
But was there a time during that challenge where you thought, once I finish this, I'm going to be so fucking wrapped and like so happy that I did it and so like fulfilled?
I didn't feel... No, I did, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I would rather do the solo roller swim.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's fucking almost half the distance swimming in the ocean.
Yeah.
So that would be pretty intense.
Just because I just got so over it, how long it took, but... Yeah. No, I'm happy I did it. It was a good challenge. It was a really good challenge. No regrets.
You probably got the raw end of the stick in that challenge though, eh?
Yeah, just a bit, yeah.
I really did try to hint as much as I could that it was...
Yeah, but remember I was taking into consideration what you've been doing, what sports you're playing.
Yeah, but even when you did say that, I was like, I can think of 40 things in my head like right now that are extremely challenging that have nothing to do with that.
Yeah, I know, but I was just something like...
Yeah, like you could have just said you got to stare at a wall for 10 hours.
Well, I actually thought about one similar to that.
Yeah.
But it wasn't just staring, it was like, oh, I'm not going to say it.
Because you might use it in the future.
I might use it, yeah.
Yeah, brainstorm and put them on a list, and then when we do this again, we should do it once every quarter year.
Yeah.
Something crazy.
Yeah.
Just to really keep the egos in check. Just to really keep them in check.
That's good. I think it's good. It's good. It's good for the soul.
It's motivated me to do something. I was looking back through my notes because I've got a list of like big multi-week treks and like physical feats and stuff like that I want to do. And that really got me revved up for that. I'd love to do something towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
Really fucking hard.
Like a really hard one?
Really break my spirits, break me down to my bones.
Can it be one of my challenges?
Yeah.
If that hits your criteria?
Yeah. I just want to be hurt badly.
Okay.
But on my own
No
merit.
taken?
On my own merit.
What, so like if I give you a challenge and it's not hard enough?
Nah, I'll leave it in your hands. I trust in your intuition and your decision making to create some sort of good challenge that
that would be a good one.
Yeah.
I got a few in mind.
Yeah.
So.
But no, that's good that you did that. Huge achievement, big accomplishment, and it's very inspiring. Yeah, solid effort, solid way to spend your Saturday.
Yeah, it was a good way.
Not in search of that instant gratification because it took 16 hours. But speaking of instant gratification, people flexing. Oh, mate,
happens all the time, mate. Happens daily.
Oh.
Like I'm happy when people.
When people are happy. When people are happy, I'm happy.
Yeah,
but you're not happy. You're not happy. You're just filling a void, I reckon.
Yeah, like, why are you doing it?
Yeah, and it's like, look at all these super rich, super famous people. When they're flexing stuff, it's not even them. It's like their manager or whatever flexing it. You see all these people that are like truly, really unique, interesting people doing things. They're not flexing.
Yeah.
Because they're actually doing stuff. The people that are flexing are people that like have scared egos that they're trying to fulfill, and so they're like, oh, look at me at this restaurant with this drink and jewelry in my hand. Oh, look at this, like just constantly flexing.
Do you think if they didn't have an Instagram or whatever, they'll do it?
How would they do it?
Yeah.
You know? And how did people flex? That's a good question you're raising. How did people flex before Instagram and social media?
Just Sunday at the cafe.
Yeah. It does my head in. People promoting themselves as if they're like a business.
People flex in many ways.
Yeah.
Like, you got people flexing out what you're talking about, but then you got even like parents who flex about their kids.
Yeah,
that's a big one.
I know some parents that flex through their kids. And then a lot of the time, like I just mentioned, why are these people flexing? When you talk about people that flex through their kids, why are they doing it? Most cases, they're living vicariously through their kids because there's something that they didn't achieve as a child or when they grew up, and so that they want their kids to do that for them, not so much for their kids maybe, but a lot for them.
They're living through their
kids.
Like,
I couldn't do that, but I got my kid to.
It's awkward when parents flex to, like, in front of other parents, and then, like, for example, we're there and we don't have kids, and you just sit there, oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other parents flex about their kids.
Yeah.
And then you just sit there, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Good old Johnny.
I know. Yeah, that is a big one.
Like, I've always found that weird. Like, okay, yeah, what am I going to talk about?
But I know to be honest, I think you can tell how much we don't give a fuck about flexing because we have businesses that we don't even post on most of the time when we're meant to.
Yeah.
You know, if we...
Well, I didn't even post much about the walk.
Yeah.
Like, I was going to post a lot more, but I was just that cook that I just was like, I was want to get
Exactly, because you were busy doing something as well.
Yeah.
You didn't need to flex. Well, what are you going to flex? You know you're doing that walk. Yeah. Not to say that you could have posted more, but that's what I'm trying to say. But you got people out here that's like, oh, look at the view from my balcony. Oh, look at this drink I'm drinking. Oh, look, I'm at the gym. Oh, look at this, like my shoes. Look at my outfit. Like 9-10 times a day. Constantly seeking that like instant gratification.
Yeah.
That security from people like liking it and just showing them that they're interesting or something like that.
It's like that, what is it? Intrinsic versus
extrinsic motivation. Yeah. So that is the perfect example of intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation is your walk. Like you just did it. You posted like 2 mid-as stories just being like, this is the start, this is the end, where you'll get people that will like literally, which you probably should have vlogged the whole thing, but that's for a business standpoint, not for...
Well, I did vlog it, but I should have done more updates on the story.
Not for your own standpoint. Where like, I find this a lot with people that do stuff for charities, physical events, which hats off to anybody that does stuff to raise money for charities and stuff like that. But a lot of the time I honestly think people are doing it
to get recognition. Purely
for themselves, and they're just using charity as like a mechanism to push boasting about themselves more, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But like I said, if anybody does anything for charity, it's sick, regardless of why you do it. But I think that's just something to consider.
Yeah, I agree.
I can't stand people flexing anymore. I really hate social media, hey?
Yeah, it is bad. I was reading something the other day about the stats of like people's mental health when they don't have social media. And it's pretty alarming, the difference.
What was it?
Oh, I'd have to... If I knew I was going to be talking about it.
Just generally speaking, just splurt out anything just for the...
It was just like significantly a lot better when people don't have social media.
Yeah, without social media.
Whether they're going through tough times and they're trying to improve, like just to remove social media, or just general people's happiness, whether like they have it or not. It's a lot better for the people that don't have it.
I mean, it feels good probably. It would feel good getting like... Imagine being like, I don't know, an insecure person about like your physical appearance, and then you post like a seductive photo of yourself and a bunch of people like it or message you. That would make you feel better because you're like, oh, okay, people do think I'm attractive.
Yeah.
But it's just it's just wrong.
Yeah.
Like, if that's the way that you're going to get that, like, dopamine hit, you're pretty screwed. I say this to all my girlfriends, like, that do a little bit of work to their body. It's like, oh yeah, that's nice, you've just gotten rid of that insecurity. And then they get more and they get more, and I'm just like, you got to chill, because if you completely align your self-worth with your physical appearance, when you hit like 40, 50, you're going to have no hobbies, no good interests, you yourself aren't going to be interesting, your looks are going to fade, and you'll be completely lost and depressed. Do not align your physical appearance and self-worth.
Yeah.
Same with guys that like get hell jacked, and they're all
like
about
their
like
life.
being that jacked. It's like, dude, you're not going to be that jacked forever or that handsome. So probably try to get a little bit interesting in some areas of your life. Get some hobbies, you know?
It don't make it like your whole identity.
And that's my issue with people flexing. Is like, you just got to think about why are they flexing? What are they out trying to seek?
Yeah. What makes you happy? Like, if it makes people happy, and genuinely,
What, flexing?
Yeah.
And then what's the plan of attack after? Are you just going to flex forever?
yeah, some people do.
Yeah, if you're rich enough, I guess. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's hard because we're not flexers.
Not really. I've flexed before in my life, probably like traveling and stuff like that.
Yeah, we all flex.
Maybe when I was, yeah. But
on a regular basis.
I don't think I take myself seriously enough to flex.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably. You should flex on your back a lot.
Yeah, I don't know if I flex. I think a lot.
Nah, I don't think you did. But
I think a lot of photos were just from behind.
yeah.
And I don't know. Yeah. But I do rate me back. It's a great back, but
It's pretty wide.
yeah, if I was flexing me rig, I probably wouldn't wear oversized tees. I mean, I'm
You do
walking
wear
around
overs-
shirtless all the time.
Yeah, but you still wear oversized tees.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If I was flexing,
Oversized tees.
if I was
with hella
flexing my
short
rig,
shorts.
I'd probably wear like held tight shirts.
Yeah.
But in saying that, I've almost always got no shirt on.
Yeah.
But it's not from a flexing standpoint. It's just from I don't know. I just can't. I don't know.
It's comfortable.
It's comfortable, I guess.
As soon as the sun's out, your shirt's off.
This goes into a tangent into like a healthy and an unhealthy ego kind of question. The question originally is like, why are people flexing?
Yeah.
And then that goes to like, because they have an ego, and then it goes, is their ego healthy or unhealthy? And in most cases, it's probably unhealthy.
Like people posting about a burger.
Yeah. And that's that fine line we've got here, having a business. Because I think you got to flex when you have a business. Not flex, but you got to show what you're doing, because you're promoting your brand. Whereas a normal human being is promoting themselves. They don't have anything to sell.
Yeah.
They're just
But
promoting
it's still
themselves.
no harm though. Like if they want to flex, let them flex. But it's just I don't know. Sometimes it's like, why are you posting that?
That the all boils down to why.
Always the thing that triggers me is when people go to Japan and they flex about, what are those drinks? Hard rated solos? Or no, 196s.
196s, yeah. Or the
And
7-Elevens.
people flex about having a 196.
We're both thinking of one gentleman right now in our heads that flexes fucking everything on Instagram.
Yeah.
He flexes he could be like, oh, I'm walking on the floor. Let's flex that.
Legit,
Take a photo of
but-
the floor.
That's what always just triggers me about when people go to Japan. They flex about a 196. It's like, okay.
Yeah. I think when you notice that, so you know how you're saying, oh, but if it doesn't become a problem, is it bad? Probably not. But when do you recognize that it's a problem? And I reckon it's a problem when you go to do something and you can't, and you feel guilty about not posting it. Like if you go to do something and you're like, oh, I didn't post about that, or like, oh, I need to show people that I'm doing this, or I've got this, that's when it becomes a problem.
Yeah, legit. I agree.
Not that I have the healthiest ego in the world, but
We will have
I'm working on it.
times.
I'm working
Yeah.
on it daily. I'm not perfect. I'm very imperfect.
This pod is powered by SJ's Community, where lifting, laughing, and living better all collide. Check out our 7-day free trial via the show notes or in our Instagram.
So, in talking about that, Do you think being a Do you think being a celebrity would be fucked?
It would be so fucked.
Oh, I reckon it would be hard. I saw this video of Shia LaBeouf. Is that his name?
The actor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was just being swarmed in some Asian country just by tens and tens of people trying to get a photo with him. And one came and he was like, yeah, I'll get a photo with you. And then just a swarm came. And he was getting photos of everyone because you could tell that he was like trying to be a good bloke and he never wants to turn down a photo, but he was literally getting like vividly pissed off at everyone.
It'd be so hard because everything you do, you're just in the public eye. No matter, like, you want to go out for lunch, you want to go for dinner, you want to go for a walk, you want to go to the cinemas. Every single thing you do, people have eyes on you. And, like, you can just do, I don't know, anything, and then people can make a story about it.
Yeah.
And it'll just be so hard mentally. I know you'll get used to it in somewhat, but it would still never not be annoying.
It'd be so challenging.
Yeah.
Being like Justin Bieber and literally just being followed around everywhere all the time, non-stop. But like not even that, paparazzi in America's intense. Like they don't just look at you from a distance, they like get up in your face and stuff like that.
Yeah, they don't have respect, do they?
No, not really.
And then people always like, yeah, they're doing their job. Yes, they are. But still, they could have some respect.
Yeah, that's it. But the problem with being paparazzi, I'd imagine, is that they've got to do their job. And they probably don't want to do the things they do. But if they stay off like a safe distance away from a celebrity taking photos, one of them's going to get closer to try to get a better photo to get more money.
Yeah.
And so if they just all don't do that and let one person do that, then that person's going to make obviously all the money, take all the better photos. So they kind of all got to stoop down to that level.
Yeah. But yeah. It's a cruel world because the paparazzi would obviously be getting the head hounded by their boss.
Yeah. The dude from Spider-Man.
Yeah. I was actually thinking about that.
What's his name?
Don't know. But the Spider-Man dude or the...
No, not Peter Parker, but the guy that he takes pictures for in the newspaper.
Yeah, I've got no idea. I've only really seen one Spider-Man, the original.
The best one. If you're gonna see one Spider-Man, that is a classy film.
So good.
That's got to be up there with one of the best superhero. That is a good film.
So good. But yeah, it would be so annoying being famous. Because
But you got to think, man. They're getting paid millions.
Yeah, they're getting paid a lot. So it's one of the cons of being famous.
Is being super fucking rich.
Yeah.
Super stinky rich.
But imagine like you just want to get a coffee.
Yeah.
You want to go to a cafe and just chill? No, not one bit.
That's why it would be awesome to be filthy rich but not famous.
Yeah. Because
you could just live normally, but you could still just fly to, I don't know, PP Islands for a week and just chill and no one would know who you are.
For example, if you're talking about this, Justin Bieber had a private party the other day and he was like pissed and he did one of his songs and someone posted about it being like, oh, look how bad this is because he's out of sync. But he was hell drunk and a lot of the comments were actually good. It was like,
yeah,
give him a break. Like, he's at a private party singing in front of his friends. So be it that he's out of sync. But like that's just the reality of being famous. Every single thing you do, even who you think are your closest people, they're still gonna film you.
Yeah.
Because they want to flex that you're with you. Going back to the flexing part.
That's why I hear all these stories about, well, even at footy, when I went to footy piss-ups with like some higher echelon players, more public eye players, you wouldn't be allowed your phone. Like, you'd have to give your phone in at the front.
Well, yeah.
But
that's good though.
You hear with celebrities, like say for example, I've heard Justin Bieber when he was here, got like the presidential suite at the Crown, invited like a bunch of one gender of human beings, I won't specify which one, and apparently they all had to like put their phones in a bag at the front and security would have to hold on to it.
Yeah, right.
So like whatever happened, there'd be like no evidence of it happening. Yeah. And they'd all probably have to sign like NDAs and stuff.
Yeah, it would.
But But if it's that bad, because I agree it's pretty bad, if you're a celebrity and it was that intense, what would you do?
Oh, that's tough. You'd still want to live life. And just, you got to accept it, that unfortunately everything you do, you're going to have attention.
Well, why not move to somewhere where there's no people?
You could.
You know? Like, if
But
it's that bad, if you're on
what if you
Justin
don't wanna live
Bieber's
there?
scale,
Where would you live?
fucking on some lake in Germany somewhere?
What, private land?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could. But then there's drones and shit.
Yeah.
Like, what about when Drake was in where was he? He was in Australia.
No, that was fake though.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was that AI?
No, it wasn't AI, it was just his team did it.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Oh, but when he came to Perth, he literally tried to go to OBH, or whatever it's
Oh,
called,
I got
Cottesloe.
swamped.
Dude, he went for like a quarter of a drink and had to leave.
Because it's getting mould.
Yeah, but he's Drake, like he's fucking so famous.
Especially in Perth. Because like, we don't always get like into the hottest celebrities.
Yeah. But people glaze the shit out of celebrities, and like nowadays talking about the people flexing, people just want to be like influencers, and influencers get glazed.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, can I get a photo? I want to go get a photo with this person. They've got like 12,000 followers. They don't actually do anything. They're just like a Instagram celebrity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring back the autographs. When people only cared about autographs.
Yeah.
But now it's just all about photos.
And now, even with autographs, you see videos on the internet where someone will be like, oh, can you sign this? And they're like, what's your name? Because they've signed it with the name so that they can't sell it.
Yeah.
So
right.
celebrities don't like famous musicians. Can't remember who it was. There was a famous musician signing stuff, and this guy was like, "Oh, can you please sign like these 6 records?" And the guy was like, "Okay, name all your favorites 3 songs from these 6 records," because the guy wasn't.
He wasn't a fan.
The guy wasn't a fan. He just bought these records, found out where Old Mate was, and just wanted to get them all signed so he could sell them on eBay.
Shit.
So heaps of people do that now.
It's good though.
And they'll sign it in a blue texto as well, because then you can't sell it for as much.
Yeah, well, compared to if it was black.
Yeah, or maybe not blue, but a different colour, which I like. That is a good thing from a celebrity. Like some celebrities, like I'll sign your shit if it's yours.
Yeah.
If it's yours, yeah, I'll take my time out of my day to sign your stuff. But if it's for like money, no.
But yeah.
I would, yeah. If I was a celebrity and it got that intense, I would move. I just have a lot of holiday houses, and I legit wouldn't be in town ever. I would always be out on like a lake and fucking
Buy some property. I'll probably, just buy property somewhere.
yeah.
Even down south in WA.
Yeah, well, Kevin Parker from Tame Impala, he's got his house in Yallingup.
Yeah. Because WA is pretty isolated.
Yeah. Even him, I remember I went and watched Mac DeMarco and Pond were playing beforehand, which is like an Australian band, but he does all the producing. I'm pretty sure he used to write their music. It was in like an amphitheatre at night time, so it was completely dark, and I sat down and like saw this dude, gave him a nod, and I was like, what the fuck? And it was him.
Oh, really? That's sick.
And I was sitting next to him, and I was like, to Jack, I can't remember, to the group of people, I was like, wait, Kevin Parker's sitting there. And this one girl from my group was like, oh my god, it's Kevin Parker, like blah blah, and like went up, hey, can I get a photo and stuff like that? And you could see he was visibly like
annoyed.
Everybody knows I'm here now.
Yeah,
And
I'd have been annoyed.
yeah, gets up and leaves.
Did you feel bad?
Nah, because I said it to.
Because you still want to tell your mate.
I said it to a friend. I'm pretty sure he said it to someone, and then they started speaking about it in the group. But it wasn't for ages.
Reminds me of the time I was working at Macca's. Shout out Macca's Southbound for everyone listening that worked
And
there.
northbound for John O'Romay.
Yeah, shout out Fono, unlucky. Anyway, I was on the till, and Red Rooster was right next to our store. Look left, and Dusty Fletcher.
Dusty Fletcher. Yeah.
He was at Red Rooster. I was like, holy shit. That is right there.
Yeah.
And we were hell busy, so I couldn't like, Dylan Vanderklos he was working at the back, and I yelled out, I was like, Dill. So Dustin Fletcher's like right there, Red Rooster. But he was getting slammed, and then I was getting slammed at the front. So like, I couldn't like repeat that, and he didn't hear me. And then by the time like it cleared, he was gone. And then Dill found out, and he was so annoyed. He's like, why didn't you tell me? I was like, dude, I did.
What was he getting?
I don't know, he was that Red Rooster. I don't know. Like a chicken.
Yeah.
Probably a whole chook. I reckon he'd be the type of guy who'd get a whole chook.
Probably. He's a bit old, eh?
But, yeah, Dill was hell annoyed at me that I didn't tell him, but I did. He just didn't hear me.
Yeah, that's rough. Rough on Dill. What's like the best interaction you've ever had with a famous person or a celebrity? I reckon mine was it was grand final day 2013, and I was with my old man and some random dude. When we caught the bus up, like literally some random dude caught it up and was like, I don't have anywhere to stay, and we were like, you can sleep on the floor of our hotel if you want. So it was me, Mark, and this hell random old dude, and they wanted to get on the piss. They were already on the piss, and it was like 8 a.m, maybe even 7 a.m. So we left the hotel, and then this dude just walks past, and my old man's like, the boss. And I was like, what's he? And I looked, and it was literally Ross Lyon, like 5 hours before the grand final, 6 hours before the grand final, yeah.
That's
and then we
cool.
were just chatting to him, and he literally like stopped and had a decent chat.
Cool guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wicked dude. And then he was like, yeah, I've probably got to fuck off, and we were like, good luck, man. And then we
That's
lost.
cool. It would have been iconic if you won, but...
Yeah, that was a pretty cool interaction. That's probably the best one.
That's a cool interaction. I had cool interaction with some of the ex-Freo boys.
Yeah.
Lockie Schultz and all that. Used to see them a bit at Benny's.
Yeah. Well, you're friends with them now, so
Yeah,
that's pretty
like, I still stay in touch with them. So that was cool because just like how they're just nice, chill guys.
Yeah.
Other than that, I can't really recall anyone else famous that I've met. Seen Ben Cousins running in the shop once.
Where?
Years ago.
What was he running?
He was getting followed by the media,
yeah.
so he just ran.
What shops?
Oh, I wasn't like near Perth where it's like
You should have jumped on his
I was
back.
really young. But like that time, like I love Ben Cousins.
Yeah.
Legend. And I'd seen him running. But people were like chasing him with cameras.
Yeah. He is a legend. He's a legend, that bloke.
Can play footy, that guy, eh? But anyone, I don't really know. Many other interactions I've had with celebrities. Stu and I actually used to we got swamped for about 5 minutes.
Yeah,
after
you're a
Amazing
celebrity.
Race. There was only one moment we went to the footy, and it was legit this is only one night, where it was like every 2 minutes people were asking for a photo.
Yeah.
And that was a weird, like, it was just weird. It was like, because we were like, oh, we're not really going to get recognised. And then it was like every 2 seconds people were like, oh, Amazing Race. The mullets. We're like, yeah.
It's hell funny how like a random codger can just go on a TV show and then people want to take photos with them.
Yeah. And it was like legit for like, by 5 minutes, I mean like, for like a month, we got recognised heaps.
Mm.
No, you never do. I've actually got recognised the other day in the gym. A lady came up to me and was like, oh, you're from the Amazing Race. But that's really rare these days.
Yeah, you should have said, do you want a Venmo? Do you want to pay me to do something for you?
I should have put a Venmo. What is it?
Venmo. You know when you can say...
There's videos?
Yeah.
No, Venmo, isn't that a money thing?
Yeah, I think it is, yeah.
It's another thing where I should have put it in my Instagram link.
You should.
Like my bio.
Yeah. Sam from the Mullets, man. Happy birthday. Happy christening.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Vimeo. Venmo's a cash one.
Yeah, I can't remember what
I think it's Vimeo.
I can't remember what it's called.
A quick word from our sponsors, us, SJs. We train, talk shit, and help you move better. You can do the same by checking out our 7-day free trial in the show notes.
Okay, this is an interesting topic that I've been spoken to about with quite a lot. Should coaches have a coach as well?
They don't have to, but I think it helps a lot.
Yeah.
Depending obviously what it is, but it's good in many ways because obviously one, you can learn. You can see how that coach approaches coaching, things that they might do differently, and ways that you can kind of, doesn't mean you have to take it all in, but ways you can take it into your training or style of training. And it's just like a fresh...
Yeah, I think the problem with coaches is about that ego again.
Yeah, it's like they're doing
Because you spend your life dedicated to getting better at training, health and performance, right? Sometimes it's a really good opportunity to help restructure the way you frame things and also how you take your own training. Because you would never train somebody else the way you train yourself for every coach. And that's why getting a coach to look at your situation holistically and then take an approach that is like better, ultimately better, would be better for you, because a lot of the time you won't do that. You're not willing to like just stick to a T to a program, or like just do the amount you're meant to do, or not overdo exercises, or not add any random shit that you don't need in.
And it's just like a good thing, like mentally, because you don't really have to think about your training, you just follow it.
Yeah.
That's what I find useful when I bought programs. Like, yes, obviously we do programming on the daily, and we can easily write our own program. We've done it before, but when you buy from another coach or whatever, it's just you just do it.
Yeah.
And you don't have to think about it.
Yeah. Exactly.
But I find it's just very useful to learn and see the style of.
You've had a coach.
Yeah.
You were doing ollie lifting with that dude.
Yeah, Troy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I learned a lot.
So you've had a coach.
Yeah.
I've never had a coach, but I have.
You've done programs.
Lots of online programs, because I can't meet them in person. So it's like, what's the next best thing? Take the best thing that they can create and do
especially
it
for online, like seeing their approach to just getting set up, how they write the program, how they deliver the program, the way they talk about RPE. Just seeing their style is really useful.
Yeah. That's why I reckon SJ's is so fucking valuable, is because you're getting different programming every month.
Yeah.
Like, you're paying $1 a day, even if you don't do the programming, you're getting all these new exercises and philosophies imprinted into your brain every month. People that
so cheap as chips.
We've got people that don't do the program and that mostly come for the group classes and the social aspect. And they'll come up and they'll be like, what's a good back exercise? Bruh, look at SJ's. Yeah. There's about fucking 1,000 sick back exercises there that you've probably never seen before.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to do the program to get the benefits out of it.
Just look at the exercise.
You can even create your own program and go, oh, I need a little bit of this. I'm thinking I need a little bit more lat work, or like, I need to work my adductors in a different way. Let's look at SJ's last few blocks and see if there's anything there interesting.
Yeah.
Or you can text us as well.
Yeah.
And you can get form critiques as well.
For how much?
$1 a day.
Cheap as.
But yeah, I think it's in a nutshell, the ego that kind of gets attacked. I was talking to a friend of ours in a PT, and she was like, she asked me this question. She was like, do you think it's good? And I said the reasons that we've just explained. She was like, yeah, but I've got to be honest, I got too big of an ego to get a coach. And it's like, that's all right. Like, there's not a problem with that, really. As long as you're willing to learn from someone somehow, you don't need to get a coach. But it is good to just drop the ego, drop the arms.
Because I used to think that, like, well, why do I need a coach?
Yeah.
Like, if I'm a PT. And you feel bad, like, if people say, like, well, you don't train yourself. But this is how you learn.
Yeah. Do you reckon there's ever a point where you can't get a coach? In terms of just training, not business or anything?
When you can't get a coach?
Yeah. Like, do you think Paul Favourites should get a coach?
Depends. If he's not training and he needs something to, like, get him to train, he might.
Yeah, true. If he needs that drive.
Because a lot of coaches, not a lot, but there is a fair amount of coaches out there that just don't train because it's like they're mentally cooked, because all they do is program people, coach people face to face. So the last thing they want to do is just train. And
write themselves their own program as well.
Yeah, so when they outsource another coach to train them, they actually get it done. Yeah. That's where it's really useful.
Yeah, definitely. That plays a huge role.
So like, Paul Favourites, he doesn't obviously need a coach to write him something, but if he's not getting something done.
Yeah, exactly. That in that aspect where like you need it for a bit of drive, a bit of motivation.
And you hear a lot of the most successful coaches in that, they're like, oh, yeah, I went through his program, I went through their program.
Yeah.
And they don't take everything on from them, but they might take one little thing.
Yeah, because when you think about your coaching philosophies, or at least mine, I can literally pick like 4 main people that my coaching is based off.
Yeah.
Based off all their philosophies and principles. They've really added their philosophies and principles into my beliefs.
Yeah.
And it's quite clear, it's quite evident. And they're people that I've done their programs.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. That's how I learn.
Yeah, which is good.
So like, should coaches get a coach? From an educational standpoint, great idea. From a motivation drive standpoint, great idea. And just to break up monotony, it's also a great idea. And just, like all those reasons. Just to
even for, especially as if you're a newer coach, just for the business side of things, the way they deliver it, all little things like that is really useful too.
Yeah. We could definitely do with getting a business coach, I reckon.
Yeah. We could.
That's not going to stop us from being lazy, but it'll probably help.
How to be actionable.
Yeah. Yeah. What are some things that piss you off? I'll start. We've spoken about this. People leaving fucking uneaten chips, man, at restaurants. Do not boast about being considerate. Do not boast about being like a good human being if you leave chips on a plate. Like, you're in no position to speak about people in more unfortunate positions, I believe, if you're literally leaving food on a plate.
Yeah.
Like, there's people starving, literally starving.
Just have a bit more respect for yourself.
Oh, yeah.
And for others.
Eat
chips. If you're going to be full, that's okay.
Eat your chips. Mate, I'm the last person to leave. I'll never leave food on my plate. I'll eat until I'm like an ancient Roman just spewing up down a fucking creek.
Especially because the price of it. The price of food these days is so expensive.
Another thing as well, if you can't finish your meal, take it home.
Yeah.
What are you leaving half a burger on a plate? Like, what is wrong with you?
Legit. Big Marns, she obviously works at Rowdy's. It's something that she struggles with a lot. Like, when she clears the table and there's still so much food, she's always like, why? That would be so hard working at a restaurant and clearing plates, and they're like, there's just so much food. Especially if you're hungry.
I always want to eat them.
Imagine being on a shift.
If I walk past a bowl of untouched chips, man, I want to eat them.
Yeah. I've got another thing that annoys you too. I know, because we could talk about this for days, but it's when you're trying to concentrate, especially in like a staff room setting, and someone's eating and they're just like, they're just like giving their spoon a bit of a shake.
It's not annoying. It's just like, what are you doing, man? Even if there's nothing to shake off, you're shaking off nothing. Yeah. I think it's not annoying, but it's more so there's something mentally wrong with you if you do that.
I don't even realise I do it though. The thing that annoys me is loud chewing. I've always struggled with it.
I do. I chew loudly.
Yeah.
I used to find it hard to breathe through my nose, so I used to chew with my mouth open.
It's something I just struggle with it. And like
bull mastiff.
Just tearing it through it. And I know a lot of people struggle with that too, but I just struggle with it.
Yeah, there's a few things that people do that I do that annoy me, and that when other people do what I do, it annoys me.
Yeah.
But the chip thing, like...
Yeah, that is obviously...
Mate, you're just fucking practicing your first world privilege badly.
Just eat it, cuz.
Yeah.
Have those extra calories. Just enjoy yourself. Be full.
Or take it home. If you can't finish your food...
Give it to your dog.
People always used to rip me, man, when I used to go out for dinner, and I was like, oh, can I get a takeaway for someone's food that they didn't finish? It's like, oh, it's so weird that you're taking the food home. Well, they're not fucking finishing it, so of course I'm going to take the home. And you know what?
You consider a tight ass.
I used to fucking get ripped into because I'd take whoever I'm with if they didn't finish their food, and it's not like, I'm not saying like they've smashed it with a fork and they're like got germs all over it. I'm saying like if they've got half a burger left, I would take it if we were in Perth, and on the way home I would give it to a homeless person, and they would rip me for it. The homeless person would be like,
Stoked.
homeless person would either be like, thanks heaps, or no, I don't want it. And either way, I don't really care as long as it's giving them an option. And people would rip me, and I'm like, they're fucking hungry as.
Yeah.
And you've just fucking gone and bought a meal, and you haven't even finished half of it. And now you're ripping me for fucking giving it to someone who's more in need.
Because there's no negative to that, because the restaurant does better.
Yeah.
That's weird. That's strange, man.
I think that heaps, like, when you go to a cafe, man, and they've got food in the glass fridge, or whatever, what if it doesn't get, or a bakery, if it doesn't get bought, what do? They throw it away.
I think bakeries are pretty good these days.
They are?
Yeah, they generally give it to like either like a charity who give food to the homeless. I think that's what they do now.
Yeah.
But I know back in the day, I remember walking past Baker's Delight once, and they were closing. They just had a bin. This was probably near on 10 years ago, and they were just throwing their bread into the bin. And it was like, honestly, like it would have been like 30 loaves.
I understand that you got to sell, because otherwise people will just wait till it's free, but like, yeah, that's a big first world problem.
Yeah. But I think they're a lot better now, especially bakeries.
Chomp chomp.
Fans' questions. Remember, if you do have questions, just comment on this video, comment on our Spotify, or DM us. Question 1 from long avid listener Corey.
Oh, shout out Corey.
Shouts out, marvelous dude.
Great client.
He did push back this podcast by about 2 hours, but he also allowed me to get my run in. Good dude, really good dude. His question is spot reduction real?
No.
The answer to that question is just literally, you can answer it by no. But
Unfortunately not, because it'd be pretty handy, obviously. But
yeah.
obviously everyone stores fats in different areas.
Yeah, so girls, like we spoke about before, girls store fat mostly around their hips and their thighs because of pregnancy and reproduction. Obviously, that's the most efficient way to make sure you have a healthy pregnancy and a healthy baby. Men tend to carry and store fat around their waist, especially in the front.
Especially the gut. That's where, if I'm ever putting on an extra few keggers, as I do time to time, go straight to the gut.
Oh, like me, man. Like I'll be legit 8% body fat, have a 6-pack, but my gut will still go a little bit outwards.
Yeah.
But
you can gain muscle in a certain area.
Yeah, so let's make the differential between that. So you can do spot gaining, which is like, for example, let's say if you wanted to lose weight on your back specifically, and you did 1,000,000 lat pull downs, your back would get bigger and stronger, but it wouldn't specifically lose fat from that position.
Yeah.
Why spot reduction was traditionally thought to be true was because when people worked these areas and got the muscle bigger, it created some sort of like, help me out with this word, illusion. It created like an illusion. So if someone trained their biceps heaps, they would get bigger biceps, which would create the illusion that they've like reduced the fat on that area.
It's like the common one where like people like, I don't want, what are they called? The wings?
Yeah.
People call those...
I don't know what they're called, but wings.
That excess fat under their arms. It's like, I want to get rid of this, but just lose weight as a whole, train your arms, and you're not going to spot reduce the fat, but overall your body fat percentage is going to go down. Yeah,
when you think about the philosophy behind spot reduction, think about if I had a pool and I wanted to take out water from the corner of the pool. So I got a bucket and I went to that corner of the pool, filled up the bucket, threw the water out and kept doing that. The water wouldn't just leave that corner of the pool. Yeah. It would just lower the whole level of the pool.
Yeah, you know? That's a good way to put it. And the most common one for like spot reduction, back in the day, especially for me when I was younger, it's like, how do you lose body fat? It's like, just do like 100 sit-ups.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the most common thing is that people are like, I want to lose belly fat, and then they just train their core. Like they train the shit out of their core. Yeah. Which is, training your core is good. It's
great.
It
is, but then they would, like you said, they wouldn't even train their core like the rest of their body. They would just, the rest of their body they'd do 8 to 10 reps, but their core they would do like 200.
Yeah.
So they'd train it differently to try and reduce that fat. But if you are wanting to spot reduce, what you want to do is just work out the entire body really well. Obviously make sure you're in a calorie deficit because then you will lose fat. But try to build that area of your body.
Yeah.
To create that illusion that you are losing fat around that area and the muscle is more profound, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Grow that muscle.
Yep, definitely. Question 2. How would you handle a situation where you are working with a client that smokes? Is it better to play the long game and wait for them to be ready to make a change, or would you try to respectfully intervene sooner? You ever had a client that smokes?
Yeah, I've had a couple.
What was you want me to start with my approach, or you want to?
Well, both times I've asked them, like, do you want to quit? Both times originally they said no. And
Oh, why would you want to, man?
yeah,
Unbelievable.
and then I've approached it differently. Some to say, nah, I'm all good, like I don't want it. I'm like, okay, you can't really control that. If they're not gonna quit, they're not gonna be in.
But if they don't want to quit, why would you
Yeah,
make them?
like,
Yeah, it's going to be healthier, but it's like, why would you make someone quit something that they really don't want to quit?
Yeah, exactly. But I had one client where originally he didn't want to quit, and then he was starting to run, and he was really noticing that he was struggling, and then I kind of just like dabbled. I just said, like, over time, obviously, the more you do this, the easier you'll get. But then I also said smoking's definitely not helping with that.
No.
And he realised that, and it made him quit.
Oh, so he quit.
So I kind of said, like, the less smoking you do, over time your running will get a lot easier.
Yeah.
And that did help him in this decision to quit.
Bro wanted to run well that badly.
Yeah. I also told him to read Atomic Habits.
Oh yeah, good book. I always recommend that book to anybody who's heavily addicted to something, eh?
Yeah.
But
short answer, I wouldn't intervene if they weren't keen to quit.
yeah, I would. What? Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like do you want to quit smoking? And someone's like, no, and you're like, why would you go? I don't understand. Yeah,
Yeah.
you wouldn't make them stop if they didn't want to.
Yeah.
That just doesn't make sense. You're not their dad.
Yeah, exactly.
I've had a couple people who have wanted to quit, and a specific case I remember was this guy who smoked heaps. He was a chain smoker, and he was like, nah, I really want to quit. I've tried everything, blah, blah, blah. I didn't even tell him once to stop smoking. I literally just tried to frame it in a different way. So I said, smoke while you walk.
No, yeah, that's
I said
really
smoke because he wanted to lose weight as well.
Yeah.
And so we'd plan like a couple, 2 to 3 walks throughout the day, like a couple during the day, one after dinner. Because he was like, I reckon I can smoke like a few ciggies a day. And I was like, you know what? On your walk after dinner, because he also wanted to hang out with his family. So I habit stacked from Atomic Habits. I said, after dinner, to lose weight, hang out with your family, go for a walk, and on your walk, have a couple darts. I never told him to stop smoking. I just said, on your walk, have a dart, because he's doing his walk. So he's doing like 3 or 4, he's killing 3 or 4 birds with one stone. Fine, treat yourself to a dart, which did make him stop smoking. It didn't make him stop smoking, but he smoked way less.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it.
Yes,
That's a really good way to do it.
It's basic like human instinct. You tell someone to stop doing something, they don't want to stop doing it.
Yeah, legit.
So it's like, all right, let's build some like good habits, create some good habits that will help you do it less.
Habit stacking is so goated for that.
Oh, so habit stacking is the best thing in the world for stopping something or doing something.
So true.
Yeah.
But that's actually a really good way to do it.
Yeah, so that's it. And now, same thing. What I've learned from that experience is if anybody wants to quit smoking but they're heavily addicted to it, I'll never tell them to stop or try to make them stop. I'll just try to stack that habit onto good things they can do to overall improve their life and try to limit or minimize the amount they smoke.
Yeah.
But
that's actually, that's impressive.
Yeah.
That one.
That's what happens when you read Atomic Habits 3 times.
Yeah, I need to read it again.
Yeah, I need to read it again as well. There's a lot of shit I need to read instead of fucking watching Instagram reels. But
The Power of Now, I need to read that too.
I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you on the way out.
I think I have it at home, but yeah, I'll take yours. I think I do, I'm not positive.
Yeah. Question 3. Worst thing you've ever had in your pants?
Oh. Nah, I've sharted before. I had barley bellies, I sharted.
Oh, yuck. Talk us through it. What happened?
Oh, just the classic barley belly. So, I don't know if you've had barley belly.
Yeah, I've had it. Yeah.
It's not really a fun experience. It's not fun at all, and
No, it's a joyous occasion.
my guts were just crook, and I don't really want to describe it because it's pretty rank. And I just one slipped through to the keeper.
Where were you?
Oh, I just
Were you in the safety and comfort of your own hotel room?
yeah. I was in an environment where I could ditch the undies,
Yeah.
and then I got a new pair. But I've done it more than once. I've done it once.
Are we saying less than half a dozen?
No, I've only done it less than 3 times. Another time I did it at a cafe.
What cafe?
Not naming.
We'll bleep it out.
In Rockingham.
We'll bleep it
I
out.
don't actually know the name of the cafe.
Fuck off.
Anyway,
Little Sheffies.
no, Little Sheffies, yeah. And I put the undies in the bin.
At the cafe.
And then went to the beach.
Oh, why did you not take him to the beach?
Because I want to walk through the cafe with my undies. What am I
Dude,
gonna do, cuz?
some 17-year-old cafe workers walked
No, but
in
the
to clean-
bin had a lid, so that's why I thought it was a bit more respect. Like it wasn't just an open, you know, the bins with no lid. I thought that was a bit more respectful than walking either them stealing my pants or walking out with the undies.
Man, you should have rocked them the rest of the day.
Nah, I look after my people. I look after the community of Rockingham.
Yeah.
I was with Camp Durack. That's all I know. How about you?
Interesting. What I can think of, there's been a couple of weird things in my pants, but one I can think of that's probably PC is I was riding from Mandurah to Joondalup
Yeah.
just to do a 100k cycle.
Yeah.
And it was
Big
a little
ride.
bit wet. It was sprinkly. And it's really hard to because I've got a backpack when I ride, so I have to pull it over and open it while I'm riding. So I don't really want to do it that much. I want to grab my shit, put it back so that I don't have to do it for quite a while. So usually I'll grab all my stuff that I need and put them in my bike shorts.
You do that a fair bit.
Yeah, so I put all this stuff in my shorts, and anyway, I had a banana.
Oh.
And I put the banana in my shorts, and these two, I can't remember because it was so long ago and I was pretty tired. Whether I got distracted, whether they were attractive women or whether one of them was wearing something weird or I can't remember. Anyway, I got distracted and had to do a quick little swivel. And as I did the swivel, the bike fell and I just fell slim to the ground, hip first, directly where the banana was.
Oh.
And it smashed
Squish.
in my pants.
Yuck.
These women,
That's messed up.
these women were like, "Oh my God, are you all right?" And I was like,
You just think of
"Yeah,
the banana.
yeah." And there's just but I'm just scooping banana out of my pants in front of them.
Did it come out? Or was
Yeah,
this-
it was half in, half
probably
out,
thought it was
all
shit.
squished. It was yellow and stuff. So, but the problem is I couldn't get it all out, and I was so deep into this ride. It was probably 70 k's in. I was pretty tired, so I literally rode to Acon's. And when I got there, I still had banana in my pants.
Yuck. That's messed up.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
That's rank.
That's probably the weirdest.
Because squished banana does feel really weird.
Oh, especially in your pants too.
Yeah. Especially with bike shorts, because bike shorts are
Yeah.
that tight material.
But I still had to ride an hour more,
Yeah,
30
stuff
k's with this stuff in my shorts. And I was a little bit grazed up and sore, but that was one of those situations where it was just this is kind of shit, but
You just accepted it.
yeah. But it's
Yeah,
probably
that's what it is.
probably what, when you see endurance athletes shit themselves.
Yeah, that dude. Remember that dude? That he was a finance guy. He became hell popular on Instagram. He probably still is, but he's definitely not as popular. And he would just post on Instagram. He's like, "Remember, guys,
Oh, yeah,
you got this."
Yeah, I remember him, yeah.
Whatever his name was, he did a marathon and he shat himself, and he glazed himself about it. Right? He was like,
glazed his shard all over his
legit-
body.
He was like, I was that deep in the marathon that I shat myself. And he was so proud of it.
Yeah, good on him.
He was confident.
I remember a rugby player when we were maybe like year 7 or 8 literally shit himself and scooped it out of his pants and wiped it on the ground
That's fucked.
during a rugby clash.
Yeah, that's
I'm pretty sure he was playing defence, so like he didn't have to touch the pill for a bit, but if he tackled you...
You would not...
Oh.
You would stop the game and make him wash his hands.
Mate, I would be fucking upset. I'd be upset. If someone had shit all over their hands,
Yeah.
have a bit of respect.
That'd be rank.
That's what I think when like people fart and they like laugh and I'm like, oh, is it funny you just shit gas into the air?
Yeah, but you laugh when you fart. What's the difference?
I reckon mine is somewhat comedic. I reckon
It does
mine
not
are good.
make sense.
Yeah. We've got one final segment today.
Oh, I've unders. Best for last. Okay, in the spirit of walking and the fact that I just did a walk, what do you rate for an exercise just walking? Overrated or underrated?
Underrated.
I agree.
Context, very heavily context dependent, but
Yeah, agreed. But for the general pop, going for a
the
walk.
gen pop, that's you, that's me, that's her, that's them.
Yeah. One, mental, it's good for the soul, especially when
I was literally just about to say that. That
It's
is
so-
the most important factor.
It's so good for you just feel good afterwards. But outside, yeah, do it on a treadmill if you want. But and then obviously it's no harm in it, so it's good for you.
No harm in it.
Sport, we were
Walking?
doing it for about no, that was the exercise. Sport, we're doing it for about a hot 20 minutes. Javelin.
Oh, underrated. I like it. It's such a one-dimensional sport, but it's so cool.
It's so much like
It's primal, man.
technique.
It's so
behind
primal.
it. Yeah.
Like, if you go back to the origins of javelin, they probably would have thrown it like you would throw something, like a ball, like this kind of motion.
Yeah.
And over the years, they've obviously formulated it into this picture-perfect kind of strategy to get that spear as far as you can. And also decelerate yourself.
Yeah. It is sick.
The only thing I have a query with is you would always go one way. So you would always, if you throw with your right hand, you would go left, like sideways left into the throw.
Yeah.
If you went with your left, you'd always go right. So I think it would create quite a imbalance between both sides of the body and the hip especially with that crossover step. Not to get too technical, but
Yeah, that is obviously getting technical, but
yeah, that's with those throwing sports, that shot put, hammer throw, they're all one-sided, so you create quite an imbalance. You'd imagine. They're practicing it so much.
But
I liked it. I reckon we should do it more.
we should do it more.
We should bring the javelin to SJs.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Let's do it this coming SJs.
Okay, we'll get it. And then random, I already know this is underrated, stargazing.
Oh, so underrated, man. Underappreciated.
How good is it like when you're camping and you just turn the lights off and you just look into the stars?
Oh, it is. When people ask why I go camping, I say like that's probably top 2 reasons. And I don't even know much about astrology or stars. It's just awesome to look up into the sky and see all the different little stars. Yeah, it's just beautiful. It's really
So
beautiful.
nice.
Without the clouds.
Without no clouds, just pure stars in your swag.
Oh, do you know what's overrated?
What?
When you're trying to stargaze and fucking people keep talking to you.
Yeah, and you're just trying to
And
be
you're
in the
like,
moment.
dude, I'm literally trying to... Because I use it as a form of mindfulness. There's nothing more mindful than looking into the sky and seeing an abundance of stars. Like, you're looking at outer space.
Yeah, it is sick.
And people are just like...
Or if they shine like a torch in your eyes.
Oh, that is the most annoying when they shine. Because I learnt a little bit about stargazing from Space Gandalf, who actually died recently. He's this guy that lived in Broome who's like wrote 2 or 3 books on stars and stargazing.
Yeah.
He's not even formally educated. He was just a truckie that used to stop and look at stars heaps. And he was saying it takes like 30 minutes to get complete visuals back of looking at the sky and the stars, complete visibility back after someone shines artificial light in your eyes.
Yeah,
So every
that's a
time,
while.
if you look at the stars for 20 minutes and someone shines light in your eyes, then you just fucked it for them.
Don't be a shit bloke.
It's criminally underrated. I really don't do it enough.
It's hard to. It's not as good, obviously, when you're just at home.
When we're here,
Yeah,
there's no stars. That's why it's underrated, is because you look up in the sky and there's like 2 stars.
Yeah.
Because of the light pollution. That's why it's so good going camping, because there's so many stars. We should go camping way more and look at stars way more.
Yeah, we need to go camping.
And Broom's like one of the best places in the world for stargazing, because you can see majority of the north and southern hemisphere.
Need to go to Broome.
Nah. If you want to talk
Let's talk about overrated.
Dude, overrated, Broome. Sorry to anybody that lives in Broome or is from Broome. When I see people flex Broome, I'm like, you've got like, okay, you've got an extremely unhealthy ego, because there is nothing here to flex.
Yeah, I heard you say that many times.
Ugh. That's probably a place that I don't know, I might go back, but I don't.
You're not too fast.
Could just go to Palm Beach. It's the same thing, I just can't park my car.
I do want to go Broome, but it's not cool on me to go there straight away.
You go, and then
I'll let you know.
Yeah, you can let me know. But that's a wrap. That's episode 11. Good episode. We love these episodes. We love the podcast. We love yous.
Like, comment, subscribe, do your thing.
Yeah, can you actually like, comment, and subscribe, because
And leave a review, please.
it actually does really help.
We need a few more reviews. So
Yeah, to monetize this podcast, not that we care about money, we need quite a few things to go our way.
yeah, so give us some love. Also, if you want good training, we have a 7-day free trial. Whether you want a 3-day full body split or a 4-day upper lower, just let us know.
Beautiful. Group classes as well if you live local. Like we mentioned, form checks, any questions. You're in a community with similar people that can all talk about similar things. You got similar goals, all access to each other for less than $1 a day.
Yeah.
So that's what this podcast is powered by, SJ's podcast.
Thank you.
Yep.